So it's October, and you know what that means? Halloween is upon us. Zombies, ghouls, ghosts, thots wearing Harley Quinn costumes. It's the spooky season. It also means the start of one of Cinemassacre's most beloved series, Monster Madness. This series has always been super hyped up every year, and I don't blame people for looking forward to it. I'm not a huge fan of horror movies, but there is a certain charm to watching James Rolfe reviewing and reminiscing about movies that he grew up with. There is a passion that is missing from a lot of what he does now. Anyway, we're 4 days into Monster Madness so far, but there's been some controversy ever since the first day, and I'm here to tell you all about it. The first day of Monster Madness started off with a review of 28 Days Later, a zombie horror classic that everyone should watch. After this video, of course. The review at a first glance is pretty average at best, but after some users did some digging, it turns out there is more than meets the eye. Many people saw great similarities between the script and the video and a review that was written by a man named Danny Boyle back in 2003. I'm not going to go over every similarity as that'll take too long, but there is a guy on YouTube named Disgruntled Wombats that does it for me, so go watch his video to see every comparison, as it's pretty eye-opening. Plagiarism is something that I take very seriously, as I think it's one of the shittiest things you can do. Taking someone else's work and claiming it as your own is just horrible, and shouldn't be done by anybody. Many people have jumped onto James, citing him as the one to blame, but I know for a fact that James hasn't really participated in the writing stage of these reviews for some time, and judging by past experiences, he probably doesn't do a whole lot of fact-checking either. The Screenwave crew are the ones responsible for the written reviews. James is just the host. I can totally see Justin Silverman being lazy enough to just copy and paste huge chunks of an already existing review into his script, licking the Cheeto stains off of his sausage fingers.
I wash myself with a rag on a stick.
Maybe he should stop playing with his fucking Gengar collection and actually create some content. Honestly, what is one of the most important things you should know when being a content creator? Being able to make fucking content. While I am targeting Justin, I'm sure they're all involved somehow, but I'm having a go at him because he released this absolutely lackluster apology, stating that it was accidental plagiarism. How the hell do you accidentally copy something? Whoops, sorry fellas, I didn't mean to highlight this entire paragraph, press Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Slip of the hand, I guess. Not only that, but they did this shit for 2 other reviews as well. They copied and pasted passages from reviews on Screen Age Wasteland and some user's IMDb page. How pathetic can you get? Yet again, for their video on the host, they took chunks from the Wikipedia article on Korean horror and claim it as their own. Some might not see this as a big deal, but I and many others do. Like, it's not even hard to write a review on something or talk about a topic at great length. I used to write reviews for music and it would take me maybe 1 to 2 hours tops to write a pretty detailed review, and that was just me, not an entire team of content creators. I knew this year's Monster Madness would be somewhat lackluster, but I didn't think they'd resort to copying other people's work and opinion. Cinemassacre has hit a new low, and the worst thing is that people will defend this shit somehow. Like, they see nothing wrong with it, as long as they get their Cinemassacre fix. It's totally fine. Why bother even doing the series if you're not even going to put in the work to make it good? Hell, why bother if James isn't going to do any of the writing himself? Just another nail in the Cinemassacre shit coffin. Since these facts have come to light, they have removed the 28 Days Later review, but the others are still available to watch. This doesn't bode well for the rest of the Monster Madness reviews, as I'm sure it's all the same regurgitated bullshit that Screenwave have known best for. People have waited years for this series to come back, and this is what they get. Screenwave should honestly be ashamed of themselves. James too for letting such a great series take a dive. I also totally forgot to mention that the 28 Days Later reviews have apparently been in the works for 8 to 10 years. Let that sink in. Like, watch the video, because there is a copy of it on YouTube that I'll put in the description below, but that review has been in the works for nearly 10 years. That's crazy. Honestly, I was pretty much done making videos about Cinemassacre's loss of quality over the years and in recent times, but this just brought my piss to a boil. I'm still working on part 2 of the Cinemassacre downfall video. Unfortunately, my job has been eating up most of my time. I guess you could say that I have no time. But rest assured, it's coming. Thank you so much for watching, and you're all great people. Cheers.